Hello. Welcome to Finishing the Hat. This is our second episode. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host, DeJuan Hayes. Finishing the Hat is a talk show that has interviews, music, and audience interaction. Now, if you wish to have any questions or comments, feel free to jot it down here. Finishing the Hat is brought to you by Reach For It. Reach For It is a nonprofit organization for artists and creatives. Now, let me welcome Ms. Jackie McIntosh Shedrick. She's like one of my best friends. She is a managing attorney. She's also the owner of Black Creative Filings. So, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay. So, what we do here at Finishing the Hat is we like to open up and just relax. I always say, like in the words of Debbie Allen, relax, relate, release. And we have you just to relax and we have a basic conversation, if anybody that knows us, we've known each other for years. So, but for the people that don't know us, I start off by saying, where were you born? Let's talk about your upbringing.
Where was I born? I was born in Long Island, New York, and I was raised in Jamaica, Queens until about 14. And then I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And then I went to college at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, where I majored in history and had a minor in music business, or I think it was like a music with a business emphasis, something like that. And then I went to Michigan State College for law school. And I've been an attorney now for approximately 6 years. 6 years on April 1st.
Wow. You've had the best of both worlds, like up north and down south. So
yes,
your accent is just like me, Yeah. I know how that is. It's like you visit up north and you come back down south and it's like you talk so fast and everybody's like, wait, what are you saying? So
I do talk fairly fast. I try to slow down, but I'm working on it.
So tell me a little bit about your education. You said you went to UNCP, and what was the other school you went to?
Michigan State University College of Law. So in Lansing. So go green, go white. The Spartans. And then from there, I went on to work at like one or two firms, kind of. And then I just branched out on my own after about a year and a half, 2 years.
So your first school, UNC Pembroke, shout out to the Braves. Yeah. You majored in.
Initially, I majored in music, and I hated theory. So I had AP credit. My mother told me I had to graduate within 4 years, and I had AP credit for history, and history, which is a natural fit within my skill set. So I went to history. And I ended up doing a minor in music business or whatever.
So for people that don't know, music theory, it is hard. And for some schools, you would only have to take 2 semesters of music theory. In other schools, you would have to take 4. So I can say this, for the first semester of music theory, it was pretty good. But after that second semester, you're just like, what the heck did I get myself into? Like, how can I do this? And so I feel you. I'm right with you.
It literally was. I got past the first year and I was like, okay. And then second year came, I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing this. It's done. It's totally done. And I was like, let me go right over to, I think it was Dial Building or wherever I went and signed up for some history classes.
So something else happened to you while you was in UNCP. Pull up this photo.
What photo? Oh,
yeah. You want to talk about that?
I crossed Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in fall of 2008, and I was the only one on my line who does not have rhythm naturally whatsoever. So it took a lot of prep to get me. Oh, God bless them. God bless my line sisters.
For anybody.
Oh, God bless them. Because I was horrible. I was I can't step, can't dance. I was always a person who mixed the music from 08 to 09 for Delta Sigma Theta.
So, okay. See, now this is what I don't understand.
Mhm.
You know, from an almost music major to not have any rhythm, how does that work? You know, I'm just curious on that.
I can play drums. I don't know. It's I can play drums. I can keep time on a drum set. When it comes to me having to move my feet for like enjoyment, that's not what I do. I've never have. The closest thing, like they never were gonna put me in a step show because Lord, I would have been all over the place. Like I any music that was mixed from 08 to 09, that was me. I did all the mixing. I was really good at helping them pick songs out. Like I could pick songs. That's not a problem. But when it comes to, oh, you want me to go dance or go stroll or something? Nope, not me. I was not the one.
Well, shout out to the Omicron new chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. For those that are tuning in, you're looking at two alumnus from UNC Pembroke, especially two chapter alumnus from the Omicron new chapter.
Infamous quads from the Omicron.
Yeah. You know, not to boast about myself, you know.
The infamous quads of Omicron new.
Yeah. When Jackie does an interview, and I'll probably she'll probably interview me. You know, you'll post my probate pictures too.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, with my hair out and everything with the mask. But yeah, we're the infamous quads. You know, that will be another story. So yeah, life. So going into that, you know, and going into your next college where you got your master's, and I guess, and then you yes, doctorate. Sorry, my apologies.
No problem.
No, we are very intense. That's the one thing about us. Like we are very intense. If you don't get it correct, you know. Good job, though. You know. It's all good. It's like you earned that degree, you earned that doctorate, you earned those letters. You know, you better get right.
You're a doctor, but yeah, no, I need those letters, right? But it's all good. I'm just messing with you.
It's the only time she'll ever get to mess with me. Anyway. Right. So tell me about your time at that university.
Actually, I initially went to Thomas M. Cooley Law School because I had difficulty with the LSAT score. So I had to get into a school that just took everybody. Thank God for Cooley. During my time at Cooley, I actually won two trial competitions. I got the top grades, generally speaking, in like tax, contracts, property. And it was a wonderful experience the first 2 years. Then I transferred to Michigan State College of Law for my last year or so. And I loved it there as well. It was a top 100 law school. I think it still is. I was able to give the valedictorian speech for my graduation. I really enjoyed my time in Michigan. I don't like the weather. I'm never going back. But I'm not going back unless there's like an absolute reason. Like I have a child going there. That's it. Like I'm not going. But I did appreciate my time at Michigan State, and any school that lets me give a speech during graduation, I'm cool with.
So after you graduated, what made you decide to practice the kind of law that you practice as an attorney?
I always knew I liked entertainment law, or I always knew I liked entertainment. I knew I wasn't going to be a singer or anything like that. With my cousins in the summer, I used to like hang around him when he was promoting different artists in Atlanta, like anyone who's through like Interscope, Atlantic, any Southern artist who was bubbling, I pretty much worked under to some degree, like B.O.B. and some other people. And I just loved it. I liked the whole organizing and setting things up, making sure the artists were straight, making sure that we got the really good venue, making sure that things were in order. And then I just kind of went into that naturally. When I was waiting for my bar results, what I did was I put together like a networking event in Charlotte that was really successful for artists. So artists came, we had different local media come, we had local radio DJs come, and it was a really positive event. And I've kind of just always been around music in some way. Like, even as a kid, I've been around music. So, it just kind of came natural to do that.
That leaves a statement to this other photo that I wanted to pull up. Show this photo, and maybe you can explain it to me. Because I saw this and I'm like, what in the world?
Weren't you there? Oh no, you were there at the second one.
But I never saw that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Lawyers and Labels was a networking event that a friend and I put together in the city in New York, where we had artists come and we got to network and they got to get some free legal information, and we got to just have a good time. And a lot of people, like a lot of clients, came out of that where I helped them either negotiate deals or I helped them get their labels together, things of that nature. But it was a fun event, definitely a fun event. And I did a Money in Music one in Atlanta in October of 2019. And that was a lot of fun too. That was a ton of fun. So I just like doing it. I love working with independent artists. I kind of like, it's refreshing to me. So just what I like doing.
So I guess give me an example of what struggle do artists, as far as the singers and musicians would have, that, and the advice that you would give them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the biggest problem is not defining relationships and not realizing that they're a business. Even though they're artists, you still can make money off your art if you do it properly. And the biggest thing is just not having your paperwork right. Not understanding the different ways of making money through music. So it's not just doing performances. It can be through publishing, it can be writing, mechanical royalties, a number of ways. And that's my whole thing, is just informing artists on, hey, just understanding there's different ways that you can make an income with your art.
Wow. So I guess that's where we get into Black Creative Filings. And you are the owner of that. How did the idea pop in your head to start a business like that?
To speak frankly, I think it was a frustration of a lot of the police brutality, the anger, and then it was frustration of the Black dollar and not seeing enough people of color starting their own businesses. And I'm not saying like just quit your job and go out on your own, but having a second stream of income. And I wanted just to encourage all people, but especially people of color, to, if you have an idea, let's say you cook and you're like, maybe I want to try this. All right, well, let's make sure we do the right steps. Let's make sure you get the right licenses. It's not that difficult, but it's just getting started. And a lot of times people they don't know how to get started. So I got tired of people asking me, how do I get started? So I created a business, and it'll be a year in August, and we've helped about 150 small businesses get formed in the last, so it's been growing, and it's exciting, definitely exciting.
Congratulations. For people that want more detail of what Jackie just said, I actually got one of the clips from your website. So please pull it up.
Meet John. John wanted to start a business, but had limited time due to his full-time job. John found BLK Creative Filings to do his LLC, branding, marketing video, and website. John saved time and money using BLK Creative Filings and had a business completed within 21 days. Start your business today. Go to blkcreativefilings.com. That is blkcreativefilings.com.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Thank you.
I liked it. I
Weird
liked it.
seeing that.
How is it weird? I mean, it is for one, it is very creative, and sometimes it is better to illustrate and than talk it out, because some people are left brain thinkers, and they got the right brain thinkers. So you're using the full spectrum.
I'm such a, like, me doing these podcasts and things like that, I'm such an introvert, I think. That is so weird when I hear myself talk. But it's just funny to me. But no, I just think about making it easier to start a business. So what are the main things people worry about? The LLC formation or the business structure, getting some type of web branding or getting some branding going, and then moving it forward towards marketing. And we try to make it simple. We are definitely a place where we try to create a foundation for you to build upon. But we do basic websites. We try to do e-commerce websites. We do LLCs. We do contracts. We're doing trademarks as well. We try to be a one-stop shop for someone trying to get started with a business.
Do you do DBAs?
Yes, I do DBAs. Here in New York, if you have an LLC, it's called an assumed name certificate. So it's a different name, depending on what your structure is. But yes. But DBAs, I kind of recommend people doing themselves, because generally it's just going to the county that you live in and just doing a simple form. So it's $100, but it's not difficult to do.
Now, your business, is it, can people in other states come to you?
Yeah, I definitely more deal with New York for LLCs. However, for websites, for trademark, things of that nature, definitely yes. LLCs, I do Georgia. That's probably the only other state I do. But I do also have a lot of people in different states that I can definitely refer someone to if they're in a different state. Okay,
I would look into North Carolina. I'm just saying.
North Carolina, yes, yeah. I'm North Carolina. I'm going back, I guess. But yes, that's something. Just something to look into. It's definitely something to look into.
Yeah. So the other questions I do have, and I guess it falls under entertainment too. As far as we talked about unions. Unions are big up north, and for people down south, they're used to. I mean, for people that do know this, SAG-AFTRA, and this is film unions, take SAG-AFTRA out of the equation. We're talking about musicians, and possible theater actors, that do actors equity or stuff like that. So for the people down south, is unions necessary as far as working down south, as far as in the entertainment business?
I'm going to speak to music. I don't know with regards to acting. I think it's necessary depending on what you're casting. But down south, they really don't seem to have many unions for anything. So I don't think it's as important down south. However, if you're trying to get into something either in California or New York or someplace else, it would be something that you would definitely have to get involved with unions. Music wise, I think there's a really big debate with rappers about should they start a union now, because as we've seen with Black Rob, seen with DMX, there's not a lot of protections against what happens to them. Like Black Rob unfortunately passed away, it seemed like at the point where he was homeless or whatnot. And it seems like, maybe if there was a union, they could create a savings, a health care or health insurance, something like that, because right now they're kind of really exposed. Yeah. So, unions are important, but I don't know if they're absolutely necessary to do work down south.
Yeah. So we're gonna start talking about some hot topics. The one thing I wanted to talk to you about was what was your view on the Georgia state law as far as it limiting the voting amendment rights?
I think it's horrible. Like, if it's a crime to give someone water in line, like, they take it to a different level. I will say this. People haven't been paying attention to a lot of the liberal states who provide when it comes to voting laws, because here in New York, you need to show ID as well. I think there is an ID component. North Carolina has always had an ID component.
Yes.
North Carolina has always had, you have to have 2 signatures in order to send back the ballot. Like, Georgia is right now taking it to a different level, obviously. However, if we want to look at Georgia, then we need to start looking at a lot more states. A lot
Oh yeah,
more
there's
states.
like I think there's 14 states now that are looking at this law. So,
and I think Texas, Louisiana, Alabama is about to change laws.
Yeah, Florida.
And Alabama is going to do it because Black women came to the polls like 4 years ago, or no, 2 years ago. So,
yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, with the senator. It's obvious you're trying to stop a certain sector from voting. Do I think it's common sense to have an ID when voting? Maybe. However, I think we forget that some of our older generation was born in a time when they did not have like social security numbers, or did not have things when they were like birth certificates may be incorrect. So we make a lot of assumptions about who can get ID so easily. And you literally would be taking out maybe a generation, even though it may not be a lot left, you're taking out a generation of Black people who can vote. So
yeah,
I don't know what the answer to it, but I know it's not making a misdemeanor to give people water in line. That seems kind of,
to me, that's ridiculous. And so another topic I wanted to talk to you about, it was what were your views on the Derek Chauvin trial? But today we just found out that Mr. Chauvin was found guilty in all three charges. So
his rent will be paid by the state of Minnesota for the next coming years. My thoughts are, I'm surprised. I really thought it would be a mistrial. Absolutely thought it. I just knew it would be a mistrial.
Yes. I mean, and for the viewers of Finishing the Hat, like, this is not me. I usually have my face up and everything. I mean, today was just like, I'm not putting any makeup on right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I thought mistrial is because they had a certain jurist on there who I was not very sure about, because he was a chemist with a science background. So, and I don't, listen, I can see that this man had his knee on his neck or whatever, and that causes death. However, scientists may want to break it down to like, what did he have in his system? Like, I'm just glad they came to the conclusion they came to. I know he's facing 40 years. However, that's not likely that he'll get 40 years. I think it's likely he'll get maybe 12 to 15, if that.
Yeah. What was your well, when I heard that the jury came with a verdict, and it was around I think it was like 2:30. 2:30, around that time. And the reporters, because I watched CNN, they were saying that it was going to be between 3:30 and 5:30. What was you thinking at that moment?
I was thinking, wow, they came back. It took longer than I thought it would, because I was kind of concerned. Once we got past like 12 o'clock, I was like, oh, this is not good. Because I was like, it's taking a little too long.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have gone anyway. I was holding my breath, because I was like, it's going to be one or the other. Either Minnesota burns or it doesn't. That's about it.
I tell you one thing, I was tinkering in my kitchen, and I was just ripping and running, trying to find things to do,
Yeah. I had a client call at about, and it may have ended at 4 something. And I just happened to hop on YouTube and be like, oh, let's see what's going on. And I see that, oh no, I went on the news, New York Daily News. And I was like, oh, so let me go check on YouTube Live or whatever. Man, I don't know what I was ready for. I have no clue. The lawyer in me was like mistrial, absolutely mistrial. And not because I thought it was fair. I just thought Minnesota and this chemist, I don't know who he is. So,
and for the viewers, like, to break down the 3 charges, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a criminal attorney. However, you have, I think it was more of 2nd-degree murder. I'm guessing they did manslaughter in the 2nd and the 3rd. I'm not sure, or manslaughter in the 1st and 2nd. It's pretty much just saying that he intended to do a felony and like battery or whatever. You intend to do it, but that led to a death. So even though you didn't intend theoretically to kill him, you intended to cause harm to him, which led to death. So it's pretty much murder. Even on the manslaughter means like with reckless disregard of, you should have known better. I don't really know what the manslaughter one is. The first one, I know what the 2nd degree is because I looked it up for the Kim Potter. I think her name's Kim Potter. What her charge was. And I think they actually charged her correctly, but I think she's not. I think she's going to be pled down, which is kind of sad. It's an interesting one. It's just felony murder. That's all. And it just means you committed a felony and you killed someone, unfortunately. I just kind of I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm happy that he was, it's not real justice though.
It's like bittersweet because there's still so much work to be done.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, yeah, we got this judgment, but then Dante Wright was killed last week, and almost
and there's going to be a trial sometime this year about that, and it's like, okay,
it's exhausting.
There still needs to be change. Yeah, it is.
It's exhausting.
It's mentally and physically exhausting.
So hopefully they pass whatever law.
That's it.
That's not gonna work. Hear what they say. It's not gonna work unless you're gonna change people's personalities. I don't know.
Yeah, I think as far as the hot topic, we can rejoice, but remember all that has transpired, last year and this year to get to this point right now. But as far as you, I am rejoicing you for all that you've done so far. You've accomplished so much.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting that.
This ain't about me. But no, I mean, you're helping the community. You're helping people trying to build their own business by creating your own business to help other people. I mean, that to me is an accomplishment in itself, and we should rejoice that.
Oh, I appreciate that. I was not expecting, wasn't expecting that, but I appreciate it. I just I love what I do. This year has definitely taught a lot of us that having an additional stream of income is necessary, especially when COVID happened, everything got shut down. Like I was with everyone else, like courts got shut down. What am I supposed to do? Like I'm a litigator.
You have to think outside the box.
You got to think outside the box. And this was a way for me to think outside the box and do something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I'm just glad I've been able to help other people create their own streams of income, which is different. But I like it.
So where can people reach you?
I'm easy to find. Facebook, facebook.com/BLK Creative Filings. Instagram, BLK Creative Filings. My email is jshedrick@blkcreativefilings.com. And you can go to the website, blkcreativefilings.com. So I'm pretty, you can hit Dewan up too. she'll tell you.
No, thank you so much, Jackie, for tuning in. Like Jackie said, you can always hit our website. She's on our resource page at www.reachforit.net. I have a couple of announcements for everybody. We have our newsletter that is coming out this Friday. It is a free subscription. So if you wish to subscribe to that, you can go on our website at reachforit.net/publications. We also have our 3rd issue magazine that's coming out next month. For the printed subscription, you can get it at $15, and that is for the whole year. Digital is $5.99. This is for the whole year. If you just want one magazine, it's $7.99 plus shipping. We also have a poetry event in honor of Natural Poetry Month. And it will air at 8 p.m. on the 30th of this month. So yes, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jackie, for coming in and telling us all about your business and, musicians, artists of the music world. I will say that, if you have any questions, concerns, you just reach out to Jackie and she will help you. Once again, this is Finishing the Hat. This is a part of Reach For It, a nonprofit organization. If anybody wishes to donate to this organization, you can donate at www.reachforit.net/donate. Once again, I'm your host, Juan Hayes. Tune in next month for Finishing the Hat, episode 3. See you later.